Hello and welcome to Post Writing 101, Secret Behind My Best Performing Posts. And I'm going to share some of the best posts that I had over the past week and the behind the scenes look of how I get them to be successful. My name is Dana Zivizak, and I am a travel agent educator. I've been an agent for over 11 years, and I take what I have done to build my business and teach other agents how to build their business the same way. All right, I'm going to just make sure I am good here. So while I'm making sure everyone can see, I have our question of the day, which is, how often do you write a post for social media? Okay, how often do you write a post for social media? Tell me in the comments, and I am going to. All right. Share this into our group. Okay, copy. This is such a pain. I'm doing the, I'm just making sure everyone in our Facebook group can see that I am live because the way the groups work now, it is um, complicated. Okay, awesome. So let me come back over here and see who we have. Okay, 3 times a week, create posts in batches, 1 to 2 times a month. Yes. Okay, so I see we have a lot of different strategies, and that's okay. That's perfect. You want to have, you want to have what works for you. If 3 times a week works for you, that is okay. Now, they do recommend daily posts or even 2 to 3 times a day, believe it or not. Okay. Um, Actually, the algorithm rewards you the more that you post. So last week I was on destination and I was in St. Lucia, and so I posted more than I usually do. Now, I didn't get to go live because, they have Wi-Fi, but it's just never reliable enough. And so I wanted to make sure that people got so I did mostly post. I did make a reel, or a couple reels, I guess. But I will tell you, my audience prefers pictures, picture posts. I get better, well, I have to say on Facebook, I do better with photo posts. On Instagram, I do better with reels. Okay? So I'm going to show you my Facebook statistics, okay? Now, as you can see, they range from this is from basically everything I did in St. Lucia, okay? On Facebook. And so we got the highest. We got our highest actually on the last day. Can you believe that? But now that's in post reach. Now, engagement is also very important. Okay. So I am going to show you, we're going to talk about this post, the one that got the most reach. We're going to talk about the one that got the most engagement. And then this one down here that also got high reach and better than average, and it's the second best engagement. This one really got a lot of engagement. We'll talk about why in a second. um and again, and this is all organic. All right. And my numbers would look different than your numbers. There are people who get millions of post reach. Okay. I am I've been doing this for 11 years, and I have booked over 850 clients, but it is just me. I am not a team. I am not, it's just me. So I see these as good numbers. Okay. But remember, you just want to engage with with your people, with who your ideal audience is. So let's look at that first one that did really well. Okay. Now, this one got the most engagement. It didn't get the most reach, but it got the most engagement. And it's one of those over the water bungalows, which we know are very, very popular. And anytime you do a post with a bungalow, they're usually always going to get good engagement because people are curious. They are curious of what it looks like inside those bungalows. And I should actually do a live on how I set this up too. Um, but the so I was there, I used my I was down there and I stayed at the Talk, okay? And I scheduled also, so I did a site inspection there and I scheduled a time with the sales manager. And then I also emailed the sales manager at the Grand St. Lucian because I wanted to do a resort inspection there. We went to Halcyon for dinner. We went to the one on the pier, the Kelly's on the pier, which is which was wonderful. That was the best meal in my opinion. My husband liked the Italian place at our hotel, but I have to tell you, all the food, this is just a side note, all the food at the Sandals Resorts in St. Lucia was amazing. Amazing. It was just, and there was not one bad meal. Even the buffet was stellar. So now back to the why this is the most engaging post, because people want to click. Okay, now I've been fortunate enough to be on a lot of FAMs and done a lot of site inspections. So I have a lot of video of the bungalows. And to tell you the truth, the inside of the bungalows, they look almost exactly the same. Um, they look almost exactly the same per, like it's a very similar layout, per resort. Like, but again, it's always good to see the differences between them. But and again, the views are so different. I mean, you can't. I mean, look at this view outside the bungalows. Now, St. Lucia did get hit by the hurricane. It didn't get a direct hit, obviously, but they did have some damage on some of the bungalows and some of the things out by so they had to actually bring in the bungalow guests. Now they're all back to all the bungalows have all been fixed, and it was just all kind of like it was like decorative damage, but they have that all fixed. But then a couple of other things like the fire pit out there is still not back up and running because that got completely taken away. And the beach right now is not its normal level of sand. And the lady from the sales office that took us around, she was like, this is not what our beach looks like. She was very, very adamant that their beach is normally much more plush, much more puffy, powdery. Okay. And so she really made a point of telling us. So anyway, we toured the bungalow and I just got pictures from every angle. Here's the thing, if you're doing a picture post, what you want to do is make sure you have enough pictures that they want to click on that plus whatever, okay? Because people want to click, they want to see what's inside this bungalow, okay? I get my own, and you can jump right into the sea. You have your own little tub on the balcony, and it's just this beautiful, I mean, gosh, it would be ideal. Now, here's the other thing. Notice how I started this. I said, no need to travel to Bali for over the water bungalows. Okay. I started with, so if somebody wants to go and stay in an over the water bungalow, for years, it was not really something the Caribbean did. Now Sandal started it. Now they have some, now their resorts are also doing it too. But it's still kind of one of those objections that people have about an over the water bungalow. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go all the way out there to have this experience. But wait, look, it's in the same time zone. So I took that point of view of, okay, someone might not think an over the water bungalow is not something that's doable for them. But, okay, and notice that's a very short post, okay? And I went for that objection. I thought about my ideal clients, okay? I'm thinking of parents. So my ideal clients are parents of tweens, kids, school age kids, okay? They're not gonna go all the way to Bali for an anniversary trip. But if they can stay in the same time zone and still get that experience, that's what I was going for in this copy. So anytime you put marketing copy into or you put your marketing message into words, we call that copy. Okay. And copy is what is so important when we are using social media. Your copy is how people will learn to trust you. Okay. And what you put in that copy is very, very important. Okay. Notice I have two sentences in that copy. All right. And it worked. All right. Let's go. So now listen, this is now 3 years old, so it's probably more than 4 billion at this point. There are at least 3.96 billion people worldwide using social media. Are all of them your clients? Give me a yes or no in the comments. Are all of these people who are out there using social media, are they all your clients? Right, Monica, they are not. And I'm loving while I'm waiting here, I'm loving the little conversation Tashika and Monica are having here. Um, yes, it's a lot of content, but the more you show up, the more the algorithm works for you. All right, so you're talking to your most ideal client, okay? You're singling out with your copy who you are who you want to work with, okay? So I'm thinking about parents who might be working from home or grandparents who might have want to be doing a multi-generational trip. So I think of my posts, I frame them from the mindset of, okay, what keeps them from booking? Okay? What keeps them from booking? What keeps someone from booking an over the water bungalow? Well, maybe the fact that they don't have time or the budget to go to Bali, but maybe they have the time to go to the Caribbean and they can celebrate that wonderful anniversary or whatever that is. Okay. So that's who I'm focusing on. Now, here's another post. And this post was the second most engaged. Okay. This is Armando's, which was my husband's favorite place. Um, and again, we stayed at La Toc, which has a maid, it's all on the bluff. And I will tell you, if you have people who have mobility issues, if they're going to St. Lucia, the Grand or Halcyon are better options than La Toc. La Toc is all hills. It is just hills, 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 hills. It's gorgeous, and it didn't bother us any but if you have someone who can't handle the hills, then I would definitely because there's no it's not accessible. Okay, accessibility you know, is not the best at La Toc. Now the Grand and Halcyon, they're far more flat. That's better. Okay. But anyway, so because you can get the vantage point here a little bit. You can see the bluffs off the side here, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, I really liked La Toc. I loved the staff there. They were so attentive. But anyway, why did this post work? Okay. This is what dinner looks like when you don't have to cook at Sandals. So, my ideal client is a parent who, if they're planning a trip down the shore, or if they just went to the shore, or they went and rented a house somewhere, guess what? You rent a house down the shore for thousands of dollars, you still have to cook, or you still have to figure out what's going on for dinner. I just had to walk, we just had to walk down the hill and up the hill, okay? But we got to we walked into Armando's and um and I talked about, what we ate, but this is the hook. This hook here. This is what dinner looks like when you don't have to cook. That's what I was going for. Notice how I'm looking for something that my ideal client can relate to. Okay? And I know my ideal client can relate to not having to cook or not having to think about dinner. Okay. You just go, you look at the menu, say, oh, the steak looks good. Okay. There we go. It's all done. It's all included. There's no bill. You just walk back to your room when you're done. Okay. But this is the game changer. This is what dinner looks like when you don't have to cook. All right. Let's look at another one. So now this was right before we left for the airport. A very sad day. Um, Now I also have celiac disease. And so for that, I can't eat gluten. I have to eat gluten free. Okay. And also, I have a lot of my audience can't eat gluten. Okay. That's a type of traveler that I have attracted over the years. I also have a gluten free travel group. So this also posted into there. Um, and Chef Dale here, which, Chef Singh was like the head chef, and he's the one who always came out and talked. But Dale was the one that did the work in the back. And so he gave me this beautiful box of gluten-free mini muffins to have as a snack at the airport because you can't, it's hard for somebody with celiac to eat in an airport. So they kind of give you a to-go box of goodies. Um, and this did really well. This got the most reach. It was a single picture, me and Dale and the muffins. And the reason why is because it is so specific to a need that people might be like that my audience cares about this because many of them have special dietary needs. So there, and I knew that. That's why I took this picture and I took the picture with the chef. I often take pictures with chefs or culinary people because I want them to see the staff at this place really cares about you. Okay. Because they trust me as an advisor, but and to show that I trust the staff, that's another level of care that goes into their trip. So again, I thought of my ideal client. What are they worried about? And they're worried about, okay, so after I leave the resort, what am I going to eat by the time I get home? Okay, this was a concern. All right. So here is the thing, we have to write so that our ideal clients can relate to us, can see that we understand their needs. So, to do that, I actually came up with a little challenge and a boot camp. We've been doing this actually in my sales lab. So, if you're in my sales lab, we're already doing this, so you're covered. But if you're not a member of my sales lab, you can participate in this little boot camp next week that I'm doing. Okay. So, what I'm going to teach you is I'm going to teach you how to write copy, marketing copy, like I just showed you, okay, in those posts that spoke directly to my ideal client. Well, I'm going to teach you how to do that, okay? Because guess what? So many people are posting the same thing over and over. People just scroll on by. That's just what happens, right? So, it's going to start, well, we'll technically start Friday. I'm going to put the lessons in this week so that you have them. They're not in there yet, but 3 on-demand lessons that are less than 20 minutes each, and I teach you the strategy. But that's one thing to learn the strategy. Another thing is to actually do it. So next week, I'm going to give you each day a prompt with an example from my own marketing, okay? Using that prompt, okay? We've been doing this in the sales lab and it's been going so well that I thought, you know what? I don't want um 50 new posts, Monica? Oh my goodness. Monica, who's a member of my sales lab, said the July marketing challenge has been awesome for my content planning. I've gotten 50 new posts written just this weekend alone using Dana's strategy. Well, wow, Monica, that is awesome. You have been working. Um, and we are going to use ChatGPT. I'm going to teach you how to use it. Um, but to use it in a way that is authentic because I can tell when people are just using AI and not putting thought into it, okay? So let me show you an example. So this is one of my posts I did and the challenge is just $29. You get the lessons and then they're going to have a little pop-up Facebook group where you can post your posts and get feedback. Um so this is one that I did with the challenge structure last week because I'm doing it too. All right. I'm not above, I still book, I still market. So this is, um, so this is one that I booked this was the best one I, um, All right, Mimi. So what you can do is I have the link here. I'm going to put the link in the comments though to make it easier. Um, hold on one second. I got to grab the link. I just saw Beverly said she needs to stop procrastinating and go read the challenge stuff. Yeah, so here is I'm going to go ahead and just put this in the comments. Shoop, shoop, shoop. Okay, so there's the website. It's up here tiny, but I just put it in as a comment. Or you can scan the QR code. It's $29. So you can get the lessons and then you get the 5 prompts next week. Should be back now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Um, my phone, what happened to my phone? Okay. I hope you can still hear me. Can you hear me? Good. Okay. Thank you, Beverly. Um, what happened was my phone rang and then tried to pick up my AirPods and of course it was a telemarketer spam call. Oh my goodness, these people. I block the numbers, they make new numbers. Um, okay, awesome. So so you can either scan this QR code or I put the link um in the chat or in the comments there. But here's how I did this one. So I thought, okay, what keeps somebody from taking their kids to Universal, from keeping their tweens? Well, guess what? One of the worries is they're going to have to wait in long lines. And so I used ChatGPT to come up with that. So I teach you a strategy that allows you to find the challenges and then create a post based on that. Now, I will tell you though, I don't have the chat GPT write the complete post. You want to then put it in your own words. And that's what I also teach you. Okay. Is how to take what an AI does and make it you. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So here are the lessons. So the first one, and this is all going to be, this part is all pre-recorded. So as soon as I upload them, you can watch them. Okay. And then you get access to them for forever or until, you can download them and then you have them. So first one is your ideal client. Everything starts with your ideal client because if you're talking to everyone, you reach no one. Okay. Notice how, and again, I'm not saying, hey, parents, but in what I'm crafting, you are considering what's keeping them from booking. You're considering what questions do they have. Coming from that point of view is so critical. So, first, you have to have an ideal client. So that's the first lesson. And then lesson 2 is how to brainstorm a topic that your ideal client really, that will get them to stop and read it. Because guess what? Our feeds are full of stuff that people aren't reading. What gets someone to stop and read? That's what we do in lesson 2. And in lesson 3, I give you the anatomy of a winning Facebook post. In this final section, you put everything together. You use the prompts to generate content, ideas, and copy. We combine that with the effective social media formula, and you will write, 5 posts. We're just doing 5 posts as part of the challenge. Of course, I would want you to use this for every post you ever make, but part of this is I don't just give you the lessons. I want to work with you on the writing because you can have all the lessons in the world and you don't do anything, right? So that's why I made this challenge, $29, and see what you can do with your social media. Okay. So registration closes Thursday, and I will be getting the lessons up by Thursday. Okay. So you'll have them ahead of time, and we will, um, And then the actual challenge, like the prompts that I'll post, will be up next week. And then Sherry asked, "Will you have tips about what to do when you looks like you couldn't finish when you don't?" I'll wait to see if Sherry wants to finish her question there. Um, but any other questions? Oh, Monica's trying to plan out her maternity leave. Okay, so now that yes, look at you. You're planning on um, getting ahead of the game. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, Monica. All right, Sherry, will you have tips about what to do when you don't have an ideal? I don't know what the rest of your question is. All right, so while we're waiting for Sherry, is there yeah. So when you register, the date we will officially start on Friday. Okay. But the challenge we will start the post like next week will be when we do the like the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th will be when the 5 posts are. All right, so if you don't have your own images to work with yet, yes, yes, you can use destination images, but I want you to be able to have your ideal client and where you're sending them. Okay, if you have that, you can find images. There are a lot, and there's a lot of groups now that have images you can use. Um, yes, so we will start the actual like posting challenge is next week. On Friday, you'll get the lessons ahead of time. Okay. Actually, my goal is to have them in there by Thursday. So when you sign up, you'll get an email with a login. Okay. And if you don't get it, that's okay. I'll send you one too. Because then what will happen is, whoops, wrong one. So here we go. I'm going to show you. Oh wait, no, never mind. What will happen after you sign up is you will so once you sign up for the boot camp, you will get an email from me, like a receipt. You might get 2 receipts because 2 different system I use one system to host the course, and then Stripe is who charges the card. Stripe is a payment processor. So the payment processor automatically sends a receipt, but then so does the course send a receipt, but you're not getting charged twice. You are just getting charged once, but it's just a duplicate receipt. And then I will be sending out your login information to get into the course once it's ready. And I'll also send you the Facebook page for the boot camp. So join. Oh yeah, Monica shared, and this is a very good. Sherry, this is good for you. Join a TA share page on Facebook. So yeah, there's for Disney specifically. There's a great group called Diz TA Advertising Ideas, and it's wonderful. However, part of a lot of those groups though require you to share something of because it's like a swap. But definitely, those groups are amazing. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, if you're watching this on the replay and you have any questions, just comment below and I can get to you in the comments afterwards. All right. Thank you so much. And like I said, register by Thursday, but just take my advice and just register now because that way it's done and you're in. And I'm looking forward to this little boot camp next week. All right. Bye bye.